You wanted to talk about Squirby, so let's do it.
Yeah, okay. It's Square Kirby.
No Kirby can be cursed. But there is a powerful negative energy coming from Squirby, yes.
I think he's pretty good. He's like if Kirby ate a companion cube. And I like a companion cube.
No, but that's not how Kirby works. He would just have, like, a hat that looks like the pattern on the companion cube.
I guess. Sometimes he changes...
Masahiro Sakurai is a hack.
Sometimes he changes shape. No, fucking Smash Brothers is canon.
Sometimes he does change shape, but not often enough.
Okay. Sometimes he in the fucking yarn games, he turns into a tank sometimes.
Yeah, but he's made of yarn there. That's not the same.
He's made of squish everywhere else.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a Tron Legacy Watchcast. Sorry, hold on, no, that's wrong.
No.
Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a Neon Genesis Evangelion Watchcast. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach.
And today, we're going to be talking about episodes 8 and 9. I feel like I don't
Of Flip Flappers.
Yeah.
To be clear.
No, of Tron Legacy.
No, I thought it was Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, that's Tron Legacy. They called it that in the West.
Oh. You know, okay, we have to add that to the anime list that I've seen, because I have seen Tron Legacy.
Okay.
I didn't realize that was anime.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Studio Ghibli? Because I know it was Disney.
No,
so.
that's Square Enix.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Why Disney do? Oh, I guess Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Our first episode of Flip Flappers this week.
Now that we're done being idiots.
Is episode 8, Pure Breaker. It first aired November 24th, 2016. It was directed by Hayao Enokido and Kiyotaka Oshiyama.
Uh-huh.
Still, I think from now on, we don't know who the writers are.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So how does this episode start?
This episode starts... First of all, before we get into that, I just want to point something out.
Uh-huh.
I feel like none of the titles so far have meant anything.
They have.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay, I have not been...
Big example, Pure Component.
Uh-huh.
Break Paprika down into component parts.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The thing about a lot of the titles is they are electrical terms.
Oh,
and,
component breaker.
Yeah. There are meanings. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but you can look them up.
Sure. I might. But first of all, this episode, Pure Breaker, is pool. It's a pool.
The pool time.
It's the pool time. Every anime has a pool episode, right?
Yeah, uh-huh. We see the pool from the sky, and it's in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, where a pool would be.
Yeah.
That seems like the worst place to put a pool.
Yeah, probably.
Imagine if that pool was open at night.
Why?
Because imagine being in that pool in the middle of the woods at night.
Yeah, that would be bad. Mm-hmm.
That would suck. But it's a school pool, so it's probably not open at night. Pool. Boo's there. He's underwater.
He's being a creep.
Papika fucking explodes out of the water, holding a round candy. As if she has just grabbed one of the shards.
Yes.
And is about to eat it when two nearby girls try to stop her. Probably not good to eat.
No.
Not a
chlorine.
A fucking chlorinated round candy.
Yeah.
And Cocona is sitting sort of away from the pool and is watching Papika and smiling. And Yayaka is also here. She shows up and sits next to Cocona. And gets real close up in Cocona's face for some reason. And Cocona is like, what? And blushes.
Well, yeah,
And Yayaka says, it looks like you've gotten a little better, at least. I don't know I forget what happened last time, so I don't...
Yayaka wasn't there last time, really, except when she was just stared at Cocona for a second and then walked away.
What was last time, though?
That was the Papika.
Oh, that was the... Right. The Papika, yeah. So yeah, I don't know what she's talking about.
No, Cocona just looks better. She's definitely coming out of her shell, and I think that's obvious.
Yeah, she's smiling more, certainly. And Cocona is also confused by this, as I am, and is about to question her, but Papika calls over to her. And Papika is now standing nearby she's got like a snorkel around her neck, and is holding like a little wakeboard or paddleboard thing. And she asks Cocona to come play with her. And Yayaka just sort of insults Papika's outfit.
Yeah.
She's just like, I can't remember what exactly she says.
I think she says like, what are you wearing?
And Papika is like, I'm just wearing the school swimsuit.
It's like a navy blue one-piece swimsuit.
She turns around and there's a shot of her butt for a little bit, which is,
Yeah.
But Yayaka asks her to explain what her fucking ankle bracelet is. And Papika frustratedly says that she can't seem to ever get it off. And she, struggles to try to get it off. Which is kind of sad. She's immediately insulted for this and is immediately like, well, I would take it off if I could.
But I can't.
But I can't. But I could.
If I wanted to. Welcome to our Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Watchcast.
Yayaka is about to question her further about her weird ankle bracelet, but Papika just grabs Cocona's hand and drags her to run into the pool. And
there's this shot where they're running towards the pool, and Cocona is, looking at Papika, and, she's, glowing. It's very cute.
Yeah.
But then she trips.
Yeah, she slips and falls backward. And starts falling into the pool. But Papika manages to grab her hand, but then they just both fall into the pool. And I guess it was the deep end or something, because it was dark enough to go into pure illusion.
Yeah. Huh. I'm still not sure if that's how it works.
I feel like that's how it works.
Yeah.
It's been pretty consistent. But,
yeah.
And we see cyberpunk.
Yep.
We see just a very neon and chrome city.
Very Tron.
Yeah. It's very, very purple, though.
It is very purple.
It's sort of an average purple hue. And we see a man with white hair and a lab coat. Sort of reminds me of Hideka in some ways.
Yeah.
And he is standing on top of a building, and he's
got, a hat with goggles.
Yeah. Over his, messy white hair. And he pushes it up.
Pushes his goggles
goggle
up,
hat up.
and they do the fucking glasses thing.
Yeah, we see his sort of heterochromatic eyes.
Oh, do we see that now?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. One of his eyes is yellow. I forget. Blue? Is the other one blue?
Or purple, maybe.
Okay.
And he says he needs to hurry. And then, meanwhile, Cocona and Papika wake up and realize they're in pure illusion, and they are also in this cybernetic city. And then we get the opening. And then, when we got back from the opening, we are in flip-flop now. And Sayuri is opening the door to Hideka's lab, and it's just kind of a fucking mess. It's very cluttered. And she is looking for something. I think she mentioned something about, helping Hideka fix something. Like a computer or something. And Hideka's working on something. Is he working on Boo? I can't remember.
No, he's not working on Boo.
Okay. Is Boo in Pure Illusion with the girls right now?
No, we don't see Boo in Pure Illusion.
Okay. And Hideka just tells her that it's over there, and, there's nothing, there's just a bunch of boxes and shit. And Sayuri says she doesn't see it anywhere, and Hideka asks if she has junk in her eyes or something.
Yeah! You know that common thing the common thing that happens when people have junk in their eyes?
Yeah, I mean, there's eye junk.
That's gunk.
Is it gunk or junk?
I fucking hate you.
Is it... It's like GIF or GIF. Or giraffe.
Yep.
And Sayuri yells back at him that the room is full of junk. And Hideka responds, "I bet it only looks that way to someone with such a dark and tainted heart living within them." Which is some grammar.
What?
It's not technically incorrect, but it's just a weird phrasing.
Is it? It feels normal to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You could just say with such a dark and tainted heart.
I guess, but they gotta match the mouth flaps.
He's off screen.
They gotta match the tempo.
Okay. And Sayuri tells Hideka that if he doesn't clean the lab, she's just going to throw all this junk away. And Hideka tells...
Hideka is possessed by the spirit of Jadeite.
And tells her that if she has time for that, she can bring him some tea. And Sayuri huffs and says that she doesn't care. And then there's an alarm. And Hideka screams. And then we cut back to Impure Illusion, where Papika is looking through a coil of wires in a wall.
Yeah.
She's taken
like an access panel.
Yeah. Trying to find the shard, I guess.
Boo did come with them to Pure Illusion. He fell into the portal, but he isn't here. Just pointing that out.
Okay. Huh.
She's looking through the access panel.
Yeah. And Cocona says that she'd just be happy if they found some clothes.
Because they are still in their swimsuits.
Yeah.
And will remain so.
For the rest of the episode. Papika pulls out one of the wires and wonders if it's edible. And
just chomps down.
Just chomps down onto it and just says, "There's no flavor."
Yep.
And Cocona just tells her not to come running to her if she gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
And wanders off. And she wonders if someone made this place. Because it's all sort of mechanical and, manufactured. And then she sees a shape. In an alleyway. Insofar as any of this can be an alleyway, because it's...
Well, it looks like a city.
It looks like a city. None of these buildings have, windows.
True.
Or doors.
Yeah.
They have lights on them
It
sometimes.
is a narrow corridor between two buildings.
Yes. If they are buildings, though. Two structures.
Sure.
We can just call them... I'm just being... and it's a weird gooey kind of shape.
Yeah.
And then Cocona calls out to it and asks if they've seen a sparkly stone anywhere. And the figure lifts its head up to look at her, and it's a big bird.
It's a big parakeet.
Yeah. I figured it was a pigeon at first, but they do call them parakeets later.
Yeah. They're very similar birds.
That's true. And Cocona is just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else." Which is a wild thing to say to a bird that you were just talking to. And she turns to leave, but the bird just spits a laser at her.
Yeah,
It opens its beak and fires a big fucking laser.
Yep.
Which sears through the ground, and we see that Papika has pushed Cocona out of the way.
Yeah.
Just in time. And the bird stands up.
And it's got a buff man bod.
Yep. It's very eerie,
Mm-hmm.
looking at a buff man with a big parakeet head.
Yeah.
And also it spits lasers.
Yeah.
I guess that part's not eerie, but more sort of viscerally terrifying in a sort of hunter-prey sort of way. Just a sheer danger level.
Yeah.
And Papika and Cocona transform.
Yeah.
And they include the bad shots this time.
Do they?
Yep.
I remember them skipping it, but I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Nope. Yep. You warned me that this episode was going to be rough with that kind of stuff, so... And it is.
Now we haven't even gotten to the worst parts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They fight the bird.
Bird.
Papika has a gun now.
Yeah, she's like a repeating laser blaster.
Yeah, that's like a shield, right?
That's like a shield, yeah. I mean, if Pure Blade can get a hammer, I guess Pure Barrier can get a gun.
Sure. And she just fires some fucking volleys into the bird, but it dodges and wall jumps away. Does a fucking triangle jump and just gets on out of there. And Cocona calls out for Papika to watch out, because another bird is here, which also fires its laser. We're not gonna do the meme.
No, you don't even need to reference it.
I just wanted to...
I feel like even acknowledging that the meme exists is bad.
I feel like it's just hanging in the air over this conversation, so I just want to kill it in its bed.
I guess that's fair.
But Papika dodges out of the way in time. And before Papika can even catch her breath, there's a third bird. A third. Yep. It starts to charge its laser, and then gets captured in wires. And the wires just squeeze around it as it expands to laser up, and then it explodes.
Into, like, blue, like...
Fire?
Well, blue fire and blue goo.
Yes, yeah. And Papika and Cocona turn to their savior, and it's Yayaka.
Yayaka and the twins.
Yep.
Who are all in their swimsuit.
Yeah. So I guess... Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah. The twins do say, so why did you call us out of class?
Swim class.
I fucking love them.
They're good.
They're fantastic. And Yayaka says they were right to rush to Pure Illusion, and the girl twin asks if she's going to save Papika and Cocona. Yayaka says, you just want to let them get away with the Amorphous? Which is a good sort of,
deflection.
Yayaka leaps off the roof and says that she sees an amorphous defense trap.
I think referring to the birds.
Yeah. And then the twins follow. So I guess...
Yeah.
That was a weird scene.
Yeah.
Kinda. Like, she saves them, and then they're too distant to even hear that conversation.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
And now they're still fighting the birds.
Yeah.
And Papika and Cocona, meanwhile, have wrapped themselves, are doing a fucking tag team wrestling move around this bird, wrapping themselves around the arms of one of the birds.
And trying to pull it apart.
Yeah. Like a fucking... Like a Wookiee.
Like a fucking fortune cookie.
Like a fortune Wookiee.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that one's fine.
You're not usually so approving of my those.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
It works because it's 2 words, I think.
Yeah. And they are knocked back. They can't rip this fortune bird apart. And they are knocked back by a series of explosions as the boy flies towards them firing missiles. So I guess it is him in the opening that is firing the missiles as he spins around very rapidly. Yeah. And he fucking just lights the shit out of that bird. And then the girl twin finishes off another one by just fucking decking it.
Yes. Well, is it... She crushes its head with her big gauntlet. I wouldn't describe that as decking.
In a downward motion. Is it a downward motion?
It is a downward motion.
Okay, I guess it is a crushing.
The bird is pinned to the ground.
Yeah. It is, no matter what, a punch.
It is a punch, yes. But not a deck. And
Cocona... Also, Yayaka's here.
Well, she took care of the first one.
She did, but, Cocona thanks Yayaka for the save. But Yayaka tells her not to get the wrong idea. Mm-hmm. Which... The more Yayaka saves them at this point in the story, the more it feels like fucking Evil Tuxedo Mask in Season 1 of Sailor Moon, where he's just constantly... He's still the bad guy, and he assures them that he is the bad guy, but I'm gonna not kill you this time.
Yeah.
And Yayaka just asked the twins if the Amorphous is here, and the boy says, nope, not here. And Yayaka is annoyed, and the three of them just fucking stalk off. And Cocona and Paprika just watch them leave, and as they are doing that, don't notice the bird behind them starting to get back up.
Yeah, I think the one that the boy took down.
Yeah, and it starts to rear back to shoot a laser at it, but then its head explodes. Which surprises Cocona and Paprika. And then we hear a voice say, if you want to take these guys down, you've got to destroy their heads. It's rare to see visitors from another world, or maybe it's fate after all. And we see the man, the white-haired man in the lab coat, and he starts approaching the girls, and the girls stare down at him because he's very small. He's a fucking Oompa Loompa.
I don't... He's also scaled small.
Yeah, he's a halfling.
Yeah.
He's a halfling in a 3.5 halfling, to be clear.
Sure.
Or like a 2e halfling.
Are they not like that in 5e?
No, in 5e they make them more like hobbits.
Okay.
They're a little stouter and less, scaled down, but, which is annoying, I think. I like it when they're just a small person.
Mm-hmm. But this man is a small person.
This man is just a small man. Mm-hmm. And Cocona asks who he is. Mm-hmm. And
Paprika is, walking around him and looking at him.
Yes.
Like he's an exhibit at the zoo.
Which is very rude.
I mean, that's Paprika.
That's Paprika. He says that they don't need to know who he is. Though, you two ladies are welcome to call me the Great White Creator of all, the omnipotent ruler of highest supreme.
And Paprika interrupts. Hey, mister!
And he's like, or I guess that works too. So this is Mister. Yeah. They just call him Mister for the rest of the episode.
In the subtitled version of the show, the word they use is pops. Sorry, you shouldn't have been...
Taking a drink? No.
And the Japanese word that Paprika uses is ochan, which is like Gramps.
Okay.
It's like a slang term for old dude.
Okay. I kind of wish they just called him Gramps or something.
Yeah, I thought Mister's fun.
Mister's fun, though, yeah. And Cocona thanks Mister for helping them, and tells him that they're searching for something. And meanwhile, we cut to the twins, who have managed to find where the Amorphous is. And the girls say that it's moving, which is never a good sign.
They're on, a roof, also?
Yeah. It's hard to tell which parts of the city aren't roof.
That's fair.
It seems like it's more roof than ground.
Yeah. It's like a New Donk City.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all on one big building. And Yayaka figures, because it's moving, that probably means it is related to the birds. And then Girl Twin asks Yayaka why she saved the others. And Yayaka says, it's like I told them before. Which, it doesn't... Does she mean like I told you before? Or
I can't remember.
Keeping them away from the Amorphous?
I think that's it.
Okay. And then the boy and girl just have sort of a quiet conversation to each other, where the boy asks, were we wrong? And girl responds, I sure hope not. And Yayaka is mad at them for being weird. and asks them what that means. But then the boy is like, hey, I found the amorphous.
It just doesn't answer.
Excellent deflection. Outstanding move. Meanwhile, there's going to be a lot of that in this episode, I feel like. Also in the next episode, for sure. Mister has taken Cocona and Paprika to a big hexagonal tower.
Yeah.
Hexagonal? Hexagonal?
Hexagonal is better, I think. Okay.
And he says that he's never invited anyone back to his place before, and he welcomes Paprika and Cocona to his own grand palace.
And his grand palace is very small and cramped.
In fairness, he is also small and cramped.
It feels like it's not that big even for him.
Yeah, it's not huge.
There's a shot that looks a lot like Hideka's lab.
Yes.
Mister is sort of sitting at a computer terminal in the same pose that Hideka was at the beginning of the episode.
So we get more sort of Hideka parallels with Mister. But Paprika and Cocona are, they're the fucking Gandalf in Bilbo's house.
Yeah, leaning down,
knocking their heads against the fucking door frames. And Paprika also
bringing a bunch of dwarves in.
Yeah, I love this part of Flip Flappers where Paprika and Cocona bring a bunch of dwarves into this cyberpunk guy's lab. And Paprika shivers and says it's really cold. And Cocona asks if they could borrow some clothes. And Mister points them to his closet and tells them to pick whichever they like. And inside the closet are just a bunch of white lab coats.
And Cocona points out that they're all the same. And Mister responds, "It's what I like."
Which is very good. It's... Mister explains that the birds first arrived... Or the birds arrived out of nowhere, and we see a shard of Amorphous falling from the sky and landing in the city, where it forms into more birds. And also, meanwhile, Paprika is trying to put on a lab coat, but it's much smaller than her and just sort of rips. And Mister goes on sort of a small tirade, saying, "Those bastards continue to try to destroy my city. I built every piece of this magnificent city. I spent many years patiently building it up little by little. My surging crystal of intelligence. All of this, they're all my creations." And then when he says the crystal of intelligence, we see a big disco ball.
Or like Tesla orb.
Tesla orb, yeah.
On top of his building.
And Cocona has a sort of realization and thinks about one of Iroha's paintings.
Yeah.
Depicting a city collapsing in on itself. And she tries to tell Mister something, but is interrupted by an alarm. And Mister checks his monitor, and there's a radar thing showing a blip. I hate to see a blip on a radar.
Yeah, it sucks.
That is approaching the tower. And Paprika wonders if that's the shard heading this way. Which is kind of a weird assumption to make, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, what else? In pure illusion.
Everything is mostly shards.
Yeah. Except for those desert people.
Those desert people and the other desert people.
And the other desert people who just live there.
They just live there. Do they still exist?
Who knows?
How's that work, you know? Do those versions of pure illusion still exist when people aren't inhabiting them?
Yeah, I don't know.
People? Not pure illusion people? But yeah, Mister is like, yep, that's it.
That's the shard.
And Cocona is sort of excited and leans down and says that she'll get the shard because she says, "I have something I want to protect as well." And Mister pushes his goggles, hat up again. He does that a lot in this episode.
Yeah, well, he's that character.
He just does that. I guess that's... You know what? That's me also. Because I also have ill-fitting glasses that I often have to push up.
Do the frames go, or the lenses go opaque when you do it?
You tell me.
Yeah, I definitely saw it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see from this side. I can still see through them the whole time. Mm-hmm. I guess that's how they don't, die.
It's like tinted glass.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Mister is too dangerous. It's fucking big. And Cocona and Paprika sort of share a look, and they're like, it's fine. I can't remember if it's Cocona or Paprika.
Paprika.
She says, as you see, we're pretty big too.
And then she stands up and bonks her head on the ceiling.
Uh-huh. I thought they were going to mention, the fact that they fight big things all the time, but...
Do they?
Yeah.
I guess.
The big spider eye thing.
Yeah.
The big,
Witcha.
Yeah. The snow monsters.
Yeah, But no, they're pretty big too.
Mm-hmm. And, Paprika and Cocona transform off screen.
Mm-hmm.
And run to confront the monster. And they find Yayaka just sort of standing and staring off into the distance. Uh-huh. And Paprika is like, hey, what the fuck? What's up?
Going on?
What are you doing? And Yayaka doesn't answer. And there is a shadow looming over the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cocona and Paprika turn and see a gigantic monster.
Uh-huh.
That is looming over the city. Taller than pretty much all of the skyscrapers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, at least twice as tall as any one skyscraper.
Probably.
It's very big.
Yep.
This is, I would wager bigger than, the final Colossus in the game. The Shadows of them.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Colossi.
Is the final one the biggest one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course it is. It's gotta be.
There's some pretty big ones in that game.
Yeah, that's fair. I actually don't know if it's the biggest in sheer sort of mass. It's very big, though. And it is very towering.
Okay.
It's literally got building bits.
Monster big.
Monster big.
Him chonk.
Oh lord, he coming. And as he coming, the force of his footsteps are just fucking blowing the girls backwards.
Uh-huh.
And Yayaka turns around and chastises the twins for not doing anything, while the twins are about to start doing shit.
Well, they don't start it until she chastises them. I guess that's fair. But they do immediately.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Yeah. Just waiting for the okay?
Boy flies up.
And he, fires a barrage of missiles at the monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yayaka also starts to attack.
With her weird...
Her attack on Titan wires.
Fiber wire rips.
Yeah.
Rips? Whips.
And then Girl Twin just leaps up and tries to punch it. But the monster is completely unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
And Yayaka literally just yells, "This is bullshit."
Uh-huh.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
And then the three of them sort of run along with Paprika and Cocona to just run off and try
to find something else to do.
A tactical retreat.
Uh-huh.
And Cocona asks how we do it. How we do this. And Girl warns them of incoming danger. And she and Boy speed up and just leave the others in their dust as they turn and see the monster reaching down a very big hand to grab at them.
And I think this is when it becomes clear that this monster is definitely an homage to the Eva units from Evangelion.
Oh, okay. Sure. I don't know.
It looks a lot like Shinji's Eva.
Okay.
The sort of main one.
Mm-hmm. This anime has a lot of references to other anime.
Yes.
I guess that's a lot of anime, including the other one that we watched.
Yeah.
But the monster does not get a chance to grab him, because it is stunned with a blast of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the crystal, the intelligence crystal, or whatever the fuck, I think. And Mister tells them over a loudspeaker, I guess.
Well, he built this city.
He did build this city. Nobody comes here, and nobody lives here except him, so I don't know why he would build a loudspeaker.
Why would he build a city?
Just to have.
Just to have it. Just to have a loudspeaker.
Okay. But he yells at them to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
While they still can. And they do all manage to get into Mr.'s house.
Uh-huh. Including the twins.
Including the twins, yep.
And Yayaka.
And Mr. is not having a good day.
No.
He's not happy. He's pretty resigned to the fact that this is going to be the destruction of his city. And Yayaka is like, who is this tiny dude anyway? And what sort of nonsense is he rambling about now?
And Papika just responds, his name is Mister.
Which is very funny.
Uh-huh.
But Cocona is trying to keep him back on track. Always the Ami. Trying to keep him on track and telling them that they need to get away. But Mr. says that he can't do that.
No.
If this place is destroyed, my city is finished. What's the point of living if the most important thing to you is lost forever? And Cocona's eyes sort of go wide, and she says, I understand. I'll put an end to this. Because that went so well last time.
Listen, she's filled with determination.
Yayaka yells at her that that's impossible. And then Cocona has a little speech. Has a magical girl speech, as you do. And says, I used to be afraid of coming to Pure Illusion. I was worried that I might change something again. Worried that I might break something special. And she turns and looks at Papika. But I don't feel that way anymore. All I want is to protect what's precious to me. And Papika sort of beams and runs over to hug Cocona and says, me too, Cocona, I won't ever leave you.
Uh-huh.
And Yayaka is disgusted. Yayaka is like, this is so sweet, I'll get a cavity.
Damn it, yeah, yep.
Mr. pushes up his goggles again. So everybody take a drink. He says, this might just end up working with you two. I entrust you the power to rebel. Uh-huh. Mr. is granting them the strength to bring the world revolution.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And Mr. opens up a door into a thing that just looks like a smaller version of the Thomason. So again, another sort of flip-flap parallel.
Yeah.
And Cocona says it's a little small.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. tells her that she's just too big.
Yeah, gotta change your perspective.
Yeah. From Mr.'s point of view, the Jedi are evil.
What is that a reference to?
Fucking the Revenge of the Sith.
Is it?
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Who says that?
Anakin Skywalker.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah. Fucking Darth Vader.
Fucking
fake nerd.
Anakin reading some Kreia.
Yeah. Probably. Palpatine wouldn't let him.
No.
Kreia hated the Sith too.
Yeah.
We'll cut that last bit because it's
Do
not
we have
super
to?
funny. Papika, though, is a fucking cat, so she doesn't...
She just climbs in and is really into it.
I feel like she just likes tight spaces.
Yeah.
She might have, like, fucking agoraphobia or something.
Is that
like the fear of open spaces?
Well, agoraphobia, yeah. It doesn't mean you like tight spaces.
I guess that's
does
true.
It?
She has claustrophilia.
There's probably a real word for that.
Probably.
I don't know it, though.
But yeah, Cocona also squeezes herself in, and they both take hold of joysticks inside the thing, because it's a video game now. This is just Mr.'s fucking VR setup. You know how VR games have joysticks?
Yeah, this is where Mr. plays Skyrim.
with his two joysticks.
Well, he has 3, technically, if he can somehow reach all of them.
I feel like he would be... Now, this is not me trying to be rude to Mr., but I feel like he would be too small for that.
Yeah, probably.
Just with how the thing is set up. But yeah, he says he entrusts the fate of the city to them, and then slams the door shut and yells, "Launch!" And the box thing that they're in falls. And Papika and Cocona scream. And
there's a really good Yayaka expression. It's just like, this is bad.
We see there, like, on a little diagram of the box falling through some tubes, we see the their individual boxes separate and fly down different, very fucking wiggly straw tubes.
Towards, planes.
Yep. And some lights turn on in their cockpits. Mm-hmm. And Cocona says that she suddenly knows how to fly a plane.
Yeah, there's like a flash of light on her forehead.
Mm-hmm. Cocona knows Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a relevant reference for today.
Is it?
Because today is the anniversary of the Matrix coming out. When we're recording this, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The Matrix, the anniversary of the Matrix, by sheer coincidence, falls on the same day as Trans Day of Visibility.
That's pretty good.
And it was made by 2 trans women.
That's really good. I love that.
But yeah, they know how to fly a plane now. I mean, Cocona comments on that. Maybe Paprika just always knew how to fly a plane.
Maybe. Paprika is also on, like, a monitor beside Cocona.
Yeah.
So they can see each other.
And they sort of lean forward in their cockpits with determination.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. says, "Ready Unit 1, Vermilion. Unit 2, Blau Azure. Launch." Gotta launch twice, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So, Vermilion is red.
Blau Azure is
blue.
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 I think
God, who invited blue? Yeah, I think Blau means blue.
Okay.
Azure definitely means blue.
Yes.
And then at this point, the sort of the stunning that has held the monster for this entire time, I guess, wears off. And Paprika and Cocona launch and attack it with their fucking jet engine mechs.
Uh-huh. They have, like, arms.
Yeah, they have, you compare them to Boo in the notes. I didn't even notice that, but yeah, they are, like, 2B claw arms.
That just sort of come out of Hammer's face.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah. And they sort of harass the monster and distract it from destroying Mister's home, but then it grabs Cocona out of the air and just yeets her into the distance.
Uh-huh. And as she's falling through the sky, she looks over the city and is like, oh, it's really pretty.
Yeah. Which is a very nice moment. I like that.
She's then saved by Paprika.
Yeah. And then they keep attacking the monster. Meanwhile, in the base, Mister is worried. And he's like, it's still not enough. And Paprika sort of appears on screen and tries to ask for help. And Cocona says that there must be something they can do. And you mention here, there's maybe the worst fucking shot in this entire
There's a shot
series.
of her butt.
Is it Cocona? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cocona's butt.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's fucking real bad.
It's really bad.
It's not, okay, like...
It's not just bad for, like, the sexualization, it's just a very bad shot.
It sucks ass.
But also, she's fucking 14.
Yeah, don't do it. There's a lot... There are a number of butt shots in this series as a whole, and that is maybe the worst one of them all. Which is a high bar. Yeah. Because they're all bad. They're all bad. Anyway, yeah, it really fucking interrupts the fucking mood. It really does. It's not, like, there was a review I read that was like, it's not good enough to be titillating, and it's too distracting to be funny, so it's just bad. Yeah, but yeah, Mr. says, the two of you can try to awaken it. Open your eyes. Which is nonsense. So more parallels to Hideka, just spouting some nonsense and expecting them to understand it intuitively. They understand. I guess. Cocona and Paprika both realize that they need to unite their hearts. And they both yell, time to begin flip-flapping. And they both shout, transform. And their mechs combine. And a very cool song starts playing. Yeah. That song is Let's Flip-Flapping by Tomas featuring Kawamura Yumi, who is, I think, the lead vocalist on a lot of Persona 3 songs. Oh, okay. It sounds very... This whole episode is a little Persona-esque, I feel like. It's got a Persona-ish vibe to it. There aren't mechs in Persona, though. Aren't there? No. I feel like half the fucking Personas are mech-like. I guess. But yeah, they're Super Sentai now.
Mm-hmm.
They made Megazord.
Yeah, they have formed Papina King.
Uh-huh.
And they fight the monster and are now able to hold their own against it. It's a very cool fight that we can't really describe, but
their mech has like a sword and shield.
Yeah, which makes it, barrier and blade.
Yeah.
And the music goes flip flap pig, flip flap pig.
It's a lot. It's not that fast.
Is it not?
No.
I don't remember what
it's like.
Sound like.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
It's very good.
It's a good song.
It does a lot to make this not. This is maybe still the worst episode in the series, but this song is really good.
I like most of this episode.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I do feel like
that's
probably a good sign.
I was honestly expecting you to despise it. Not to have our after episode conversation now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they land a blow on the monster, and they cut off one of its fucking arms, but then it regenerates.
Yes, and it immediately just destroys their mech.
Yep.
And it falls into pieces.
And Yayaka is pissed.
Uh-huh.
And asks Mr. if he has anything else they can use. And Mr. asks if that's her saying that she wants to save them. And Yayaka is like, no.
Nah, no.
But
like
also
I want to
says,
save you or anything, Baka.
But also says that if he has any more of those mechs, he should hand them over. And Mr. says that she has to answer his question first. And Yayaka just sort of grunts. And meanwhile, Papika and Cocona
are trying to make their mech stand up.
Yeah, still in the drift. And the monster is about to just step on their head. Their mech head. Which I guess they're in?
Yes, probably. That's usually where the cockpit is in Super Sentai stuff.
Right. When
a semi-truck rolls up.
And it's got weapons. You know how semi-trucks do? And it fires on the monster.
Optimus Prime has arrived.
Except no. Well, yes, but driving Optimus Prime
is Yayaka. There's a really good, is that a carabiner? Is that what that is? Or carabiner? There's a thing hanging? There's a thing hanging from her rearview mirror.
Yes.
It's like a little doll of Mister.
Yes. I don't know what those are called, but it's very good. And she tells... Yayaka yells at the girls to not get the wrong idea. She just needs the amorphous. I'm not saving you for you.
We could really just replace any mention of anything Yayaka does with Yayaka is tsundere.
And she yells at them to hurry up and get in.
They do.
Get in, loser, we're going monster fighting. And they get in, and she shouts, Yapiko mode. And her truck transforms into Yapiko boy.
Yeah,
You know.
Yapiko boy.
You know. Yapiko boy.
Yeah.
Yapiko boy.
Why is it named... why is it Papika King?
Papina King.
Why is it Papina King? 2, why is this Yapiko?
Yeah,
Did Mr. build these for them? Does he know about Yayaka?
That's a good point. Maybe the mechs sort of fuse with their rider. And become the thing.
Sure.
But yeah, Yapika. So it's Yayaka,
Papika, and Cocona. It transforms.
Yeah.
It's I think smaller than Papina King, but
that's weird.
Yeah, it might not be. I don't know.
But she she attacks the monster and wraps it in her mech's coils and makes it explode. Except not.
It doesn't really do much.
It doesn't really do much. It's fine. And Yayaka calls up Mister again on the codec and says...
on the fucking transistor radio. Breaker.
and says there must be some trick that he isn't telling her about, which I love the phrasing of that. I love the accusatory nature of that. Meanwhile, we see the twins just sort of quietly leave Mister's lab. And Mister says to Yayaka, "You must harmonize your impedance. You gotta shout like they do." So now we know what impedance is. That it's just, shout.
Yeah. That's part of it.
It's just volume. And Yayaka yells back that she can't embarrass herself like that. And then the monster gets closer, and Cocona tells Yayaka that she has to try, and Yayaka is just like... and Papika yells at her to say it louder, and then the monster gets closer, and Yayaka does need to inform you that she is only doing it until they defeat the monster.
Yeah,
And the three of them shout flip-flapping together. And the music kicks back in.
It's, we didn't mention that it stopped, but yeah. There's a really good shot of them all, like, screaming and, like, their hair flying up, and it's colored in their corresponding color.
Well, Cocona is colored, like, red, like she transforms into.
Is it? I thought Cocona was blue.
No, I think it's reversed for them, like their transformations.
Yayaka is yellow, though.
Yayaka is yellow.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. And Papika and Cocona's mech combines with Yayaka's to form Great Pacoyo. Pacoyo?
Pacoyo, I think.
Pacoyo. I get Papika, Cocona.
I don't know where the yo
Yeah,
comes
shouldn't
from.
be. It should be a ya. I feel like, for Yayaka. Also, they already combined all their names into the mech before.
It's it's fine.
And the three of them just form a gigantic fucking laser. This version of their mech is super like big and bulky and doesn't even look like it should move. Like it's just a tower of death now. And just shoots a laser. Yayaka asks where to aim, and the Cocona and Papika say the head. And they do, except the laser is so big that it basically encompasses the monster's entire body anyway, so I feel like there's not much point to aiming for the head there. It's like taking a flamethrower and saying, aim for the head! But yeah, they fucking vaporize that thing, along with most of the city in front of them.
Yeah,
And, I think we see, like, a big, like an orbital shot.
Of the planet they're
on. Which looks like a brain.
Yes, yeah, you're right, yes.
Which is cool, but we see the, like, flash of their giant laser cannon as it fucks all the shit up. And then we see the Amorphous start to fall from the sky somewhere else. And the twins are there to catch it. But before they can, Mister snatches it out of the air, because I guess he's here now.
With a fucking, one of those things you get to, like, grab things behind the couch.
With a fucking Nintendo Super Hand, or whatever they're called. But yeah, he says, back off, this belongs to the girls. And the twins threaten him. This small man. Who they could probably easily crush.
Yeah.
Because the girl has
her big
hand.
But then Yayaka is here.
Yeah. And tells them that it's time to go. And the twins are like,
Hey, what?
Hey, what? And Yayaka says, this is as far as they can go. We have the advantage now. We can take it at any time.
Yeah,
We can take the rainbow crystals at any time.
And the girl says, I'm reporting this. And they walk off.
She's a snitch. You know what they say about them.
Well, she does have a cast.
That's true.
Anyway,
Papika and Cocona arrive at Mister, and they call out happily for him, and he lifts his goggles up and smiles, and Cocona apologizes for destroying the city. But Mister tells her it's okay, because this explosion was art.
Yep. Art is an explosion.
And then we cut back to Flip Flap, to Hideka in his lab, and a door opens. and a severely damaged Boo stumbles into the room. He is smoking, and, a cigarette? No, he's just, his body is smoking. I wish he was smoking.
Boo would vape.
Boo is a vape.
Yes. Hot
take. Boo from Flip Flappers is a vape.
Mm-hmm. His brain is a jewel pod.
But yeah, he stumbles into the room, and Hideka yells and panics, and grabs Boo and runs back to his lab and yells at him, saying, "What are you thinking at a time like this? This is extremely inconvenient. My stock's running much too low as it is."
And he holds up a bolt, and we see his eyes behind his glasses.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Geez, this damn obsolete model." And Sayuri appears behind him and asks Hideka if he'd like a nice cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But he is too consumed by trying to fix Boo to respond.
Uh-huh.
And we get the credits.
And then we get an after-credits scene.
Yes, a very important after-credits scene.
That I missed my first time watching this show.
Oh, no.
Papika and Cocona are in the showers, thankfully not naked.
Yeah, just showering in their bathing suits.
Yeah, that's a thing you do.
That's a thing.
If you go to the beach, at least.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you could probably do it if you go to the pool, too.
Mm-hmm.
Get the chlorine off you.
Mm-hmm.
Papika is, dancing in her in her booth.
I don't think they're actually in booths. I think it's just a flat, wall.
I think there's
they're looking directly at each other, I think.
I think there's a wall. There's a divider between them.
Is there? It didn't seem like it, but okay. Cocona rips a bandage off her thigh. And
just to remind us about her birthmark.
Yeah. And Papika, and she's holding up the shard happily. I guess they haven't delivered it back yet.
No.
And Cocona just sort of calls out to Papika and says, "We actually protected something." You also destroyed it a little bit, but it was fine.
Yeah, but it was an explosion.
No harm, no foul.
It was art.
It was art. And Papika responds that it's much more fun together. Which I just sort of... Never mind. It's much more fun together.
Yeah.
I just... Yeah, no, nothing. And Cocona starts to respond, but is interrupted by Papika. Saying, let's go again. Mimi. And Cocona's eyes kind of go wide, and she's just quietly like, "What?"
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. So, real quick. Was Boo the monster?
Boo, it's ambiguous. I don't think he was the monster at all. Mm-hmm. He is either Mr.
Okay.
Or the city itself. Or both. He's probably both.
Okay.
The city, obviously, that episode has a lot of parallels between Mr. and Hideka, and I don't think that's accidental.
Right.
So, it's
tied to Boo, in the same way Boo is tied to Hideka.
And also, they destroy the city, and then Boo comes back and is severely damaged, even though we didn't see him at all in this episode.
Right. Well, except at the very beginning in the pool.
Right.
I hope he's not Mr., because I like Mr.
Also, Mr. is small like Boo.
I guess.
But this episode is definitely, there's definitely... This pure illusion was related to Boo in some way. Mm-hmm. Also, like you said, the planet looks like a brain.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, next episode?
Next episode is... Oh, also, we don't talk about all of the next time ons. But this one, the one for episode 8, was what was it? Do you remember?
I think it was Yayaka saying she's not going to do the
right, and then Cocona is like, "You gotta," and then Yayaka
she says, "You're the only one I can trust."
And then Yayaka finally relents, and then Cocona is like, "We're out of time,"
and Yayaka is like, "What the hell?"
It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode, though, is episode 9, Pure Mute, which first aired December 1st, 2016. It was directed by Katsuhiko Kitada and Kiyotaka Oshiyama, as always. Then that's all the info. Okay. Episode starts.
In a locker room. With Yayaka. In her Asclepius gear. Asclepius? I can never remember.
I don't fucking know,
Asclepius?
Cyclops.
Cyclops living in the city. Cyclops all alone.
Cyclops gotta get free?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cyclops song by Devo.
I've never heard that before.
Or it might just be by Devo 2.0. I don't know if it was... I feel like Devo 2.0 didn't do a lot of Cyclops, a lot of like original songs.
I barely know anything about Devo. You can't introduce the fact that there's a Devo 2.0 to me. Anyway, Yayaka.
Yeah, she's at a locker room. She's in her gear, and she hears an awooga, like an alarm thing.
Oh.
You know,
okay,
it's like a klaxon.
Yes.
And she gasps and runs out of the locker room. And she runs into a room full of the pointy boys.
Uh-huh.
And she demands to know what's going on and who's going into pure illusion. Because I guess that's what the alarm means. And she sees the twins are going into a big cyber donut.
What?
They're going into a cyber donut.
What does that mean?
They're going into, I don't know what... They're going into a donut that is cyber. I don't know what you did.
Fair enough.
I don't know what you want from me. It's like a portal gateway. It's like a Stargate thing, but it looks like a fucking donut.
Okay.
And is also cyber.
It didn't look like a donut to me, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay. I watched this episode twice in a row. So.
That's fair.
The twins are going into the cyber donut with a new third person.
Uh-huh.
A girl with light blue hair and pigtails.
Mm-hmm.
And Yayaka sort of just demands they stop and runs up to the donut and just sort of yells, "Who the hell are you?" at this new girl. And one of the pointy boys responds, "She is known as the third child of Amorphous. Her impedance is in perfect alignment to the twins."
Uh-huh.
So there's the third child of Amorphous.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Yayaka, as soon as the words are fucking out of Pointy Boy's mouth, if he has that.
I should say, we still don't know Pointy Boy's name, but he does, his voice act, he is a recurring character, so... Okay. His voice actor is John Swayze. Okay. Who is Zuruko Kashimura in Alice in Zuruko. And Jagan in the Fire Emblem anime.
Oh, okay. I thought...
No, not Jigen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And also Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. Who's... You know him. He's the dude who does this. You don't know about the Gendo?
I did you're just making an Illuminati sign to me, and I don't... So does 90% of male anime
They're all referencing Gendo, okay? He's the dad. He's the shitty dad from Evangelion. You don't know about the shitty dad?
I don't. Okay. I don't know shit about Evangelion.
You know what? That's cool. That's a cool thing that you don't know. I'm sorry.
Is that the one with the penguin?
Wait, hold on. Don't... Wait. You know what Evangelion is.
Yeah? Is it the one with the penguin?
It is the one with the penguin. Okay. That's not really the most defining feature, though.
No, I know. But I just wanted to know if that was the one with the penguin.
Okay, fair enough. His Japanese voice actor, Achi Ono, who is, doesn't have a lot of roles, but is, Commander Fushimi in, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor. Okay. And, Morbius in the Japanese dub for Spider-Man, the 1994 animated show. Okay. And Zeus in Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
With a name like that, that's either the best or worst anime, I feel like.
Right. It's not good.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Zeus is in it.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Is he the god Zeus, or is he just a guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Welcome to our Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
God, no.
Watch cast.
Never.
Yeah, so Pointy Boy has barely finished his sentence before Yayaka just tells this new girl, "Get out." And the twins go, "You're not needed. Redundant." Mm-hmm. And Yayaka sort of gasps a little bit, and she turns to the lead Pointy Boy and says, "I won't fail again. You have to let me try once more." And Pointy Boy is very quickly like, this is your last chance. You must retrieve it this time. Like, he really turned around on that quick.
Yeah.
Like, this girl is already in her fucking gear and ready to go.
Yeah.
But Yayaka's like, yes!
And if Yayaka doesn't do it, she will be sent to the eternal sleep.
Yeah. And Pointy Boy also says, and you will take the Amorphous from the others as well. And Yayaka is less enthused about that. But she does say, eventually, understood, they won't be able to beat my resolve. And then we get the opening. We get like a shot of her clutching her fist. And then the opening. And then we cut to school.
Yep.
No one's late, unfortunately.
No.
But we're eating lunch in the classroom. I know we've established that that's just a thing that people do.
That's a thing people do.
Papika has a big ball of rice and seaweed. That is, it's like the size of a fucking cantaloupe. And she's just like, bon appetit, and just digs the fuck in. She just takes a whole ass bite out of that thing. And Cocona is also here. And she, meanwhile, is flashing back to Papika calling her Mimi. Meanwhile, a girl asks Papika what she has in her rice ball today. And Papika's like, let's see. And she just looks inside and says, hamburger meat, french fries, broccoli. And this other girl is like, oh wow, the whole shebang. Which is a fantastic line. Yeah. I love this side character, this nameless side girl. And Papika says, it's Papika's hamburger plate rice ball special. And all the girls are very impressed, which is very funny to me. And then she says, I even put some carrots in mine too. And she seems to be saying that to Cocona. And Cocona is like, I can see that. And Papika offers the carrots to Cocona, since she likes sweet carrots. And Cocona says, I hate them.
Yep.
And Papika is very confused and upset by this. And Cocona sort of starts yelling at her, but doesn't commit to it. She's just like, who are you? And then stops herself. And this just goes, let's eat, and eats her lunch.
Yep.
And then we cut to Cocona hanging out in the nurse's office. Just by herself. And she sees some pink flowers.
Yeah, pink begonias.
Is that what they are specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
That's important.
Yeah. They're on a table. They're in a little vase, I guess. A little bowl, I would say. And she sees that they're running out of water, so she gets them some water. And waters them solemnly. And meanwhile, Papika is outside holding her nose, probably because of all the medicine smells, and probably also the flowers, and is telling Cocona that it's time to go home already. And then we see on the walk back home, Papika is drifting around Cocona in circles
her surfboard.
On her new hover surfer.
Oh yeah, right. It is a new one.
Yeah, because her last one got lost at sea.
Right. Unless they recovered it somehow.
Somehow. I guess that's possible, but I don't know. Why does she have a hover surfboard?
Gotta get around.
Where did she get it?
Flip-flop. Hideka probably made it.
But for what purpose? She can't take it with her into Pure Illusion.
She has.
Has she?
Yeah, the first episode.
I guess that's true. She can't fit it in the Thomason, though.
Right, no.
But yeah, Papika is just drifting around Cocona in circles, and talking about how she's looking forward to adventuring more with Cocona, and saying she hopes they find another shard. And Cocona is not talking to her.
No.
And Papika is concerned. And asks what's up, and Cocona just tells her to leave her alone. And Papika asks why she's acting weird, and Cocona says that Papika's the one acting weird, which is not, well, I guess it is technically true.
It is technically always true. And Papika did call her Mimi. I'd say that's acting pretty weird.
That is weird. That is unusual.
And thought she liked sweet carrots.
I can't tell if Cocona does or does not.
Cocona does not. I don't know. When
is that in the art book?
No. When Yayaka, I mean, it might be, but when Yayaka mentioned that Pure Illusion was a portal to hell, one of the images in Cocona's hell imagination spot thing was her being forced to eat carrots.
Okay. What a fucking detail. This fucking show. But
Papika,
yeah.
for the record, had no food. Because that's her hell.
Yeah, that's her hell, yeah. Papika explains that, Cocona has barely talked to her all day and said that she hated sweet carrots.
Mm-hmm.
And Cocona gets mad and yells, "That's because you continue to confuse me with somebody else." And Papika is sort of shocked at that. Also, Boo's here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's just here.
We won't not mention that Boo's here, but every time we do, we will say that we don't give a shit.
just to set the scene.
Yeah.
It's vaguely important later, so,
Yeah.
Papika's like, "Wow, something really is off with you." And Cocona yells at her for being self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
And then Papika also gets mad and yells at her for burning the ovens in home ec. And Boo sort of just looks between the two of them in sort of a panic as they argue. And then we cut to Flip Flap, where Sayuri is walking down a hall by the elevator, and the elevator opens, and there's Cocona and Papika just not looking at each other. Sulking. And Boo between them.
He just fucking...
He shrugs.
And
his eye just says, "Distress." And Sayuri...
Sometimes there are good Boo jokes.
Yeah. And Sayuri is like, "Hey, what's up?" But then we immediately cut to the Thomason, where Hideka is yelling over the speakers, "Get it together! You need to be serious here!" And then starts sort of arguing with Sayuri.
Sayuri reminds him that they can hear him.
Yes, as he's talking about him being sure that it's something stupid. And then the Thomason closes, and Papika lowers her hand down for Cocona to take it, and Cocona reluctantly does, which I thought was a really nice...
Yeah.
That was a nice moment. And there's a very rapid shot that appears and then disappears very quickly of a bunch of creepy eyes.
Oh, we saw that before.
Open. Did we?
That was in the second episode, yeah.
Really?
The end of the second episode when they first get in the Thomason. We haven't seen it since,
okay.
But yeah.
I don't remember that at all, huh? I guess because it hasn't happened all that much. But then we cut to Yayaka and the twins, who are wearing spacesuits.
And they're like... Yeah.
And they're in space on a sort of a weird curly blue mass.
Yeah.
And Yayaka is frustrated that they have not found the Amorphous on this weird blue mass. And the twin boy says that he's found an incoming signal. And Yayaka says it might be the girls. And the boy opens up a portal. And I wrote down here, notably, this is, I think, the first time we've seen them in pure illusion before the girls get there.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is very unusual.
And possibly relevant to some stuff.
Yeah. And then the twins just remind Yayaka, "Your chance. Last chance." And
I don't know if we haven't talked about the fucking speaking pattern the twins have, where one of them will... I mean, this isn't an example, but often one of them will say a full sentence, and then the other one will just sort of, say something vaguely related that's only a single word or two words.
Like last time when they were like, "So why did you interrupt our class? Swim class."
Yes, exactly.
That was that was lines from the two of them. And Yayaka is just like, "Okay, let's go." And then we cut to a white void, where Cocona and Papika and Boo are. Both of the girls simultaneously say, "There's nothing here," and then sort of look at each other and then look away in frustration, which is cute. They managed to make their argument cute in a way but still sad. And then Cocona sees a glittering on the horizon, and Papika rushes after it and says, "Race you!" And Cocona stays back for a bit and says, "That's not the problem we're facing here." And Papika responds, "Then be safe and just wait there." And I don't know what the fuck that conversation means.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Cocona apparently transforms off screen.
Yes.
And then just flies past Paprika.
By herself?
Yeah.
Which...
That's happened before.
Has it?
I
guess in the Duke School episode.
Well, I mean, they powered up in that episode. They didn't transform.
Right.
Paprika and Cocona, in the first and second episode, they both transformed alone after seeing the other nearly die.
Right.
And in...
Well, powered up, like you said.
That's what I said.
You said transformed.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. In episode 3, Paprika transformed alone, and then Cocona transformed.
Okay.
But that was because of the peppy potato.
The gung-ho sweet potato, you mean?
Sorry, yes. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought they needed to work together to transform.
I could swear there's another instance of Cocona transforming alone, but it's not.
I apparently am just wrong. I guess they're always involved with each other.
Paprika transformed alone to fight. Yeah, no, she didn't. Never mind. It's fine. Anyway,
she transforms to fly past Paprika, and Paprika is like, "No fair," and also transforms to catch up with her, and they argue some more as they fly towards the glittering thing. And then girl punch. Punch them.
Girl does punch them.
Girl punch floor. And they get knocked back by the shockwaves of the girl twins punch.
I'm so glad that we're going to know their names soon.
And this fucking breaks Boo, pretty much.
Which is distressing to me, knowing that Hidaka has run out. Or is running out of parts to fix him.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Boo, but it's still kind of worrying.
They should build him tougher, maybe.
He's an obsolete model.
They should put some fucking steel on him or something, you know?
They should make him tougher, you're right.
And the shockwave also just knocks the girls back. And then the rest of the of Yayaka's crew touches down. And Cocona is happy to see Yayaka, and says that she's been worried about her since she hasn't come to school lately. So I guess we can assume there's been some time between the last episode. It can't be much, though.
No.
Cocona
hasn't really confronted Paprika yet. Until now.
That's weird. Maybe she hasn't gone to school, but she did go to the pool.
Yeah.
But Yayaka interrupts her and is like, "You still don't understand, do you?" And I hate when characters in anime like this say shit like that, because no, I don't. I still don't understand because no one's explained it.
That's... Yayaka is like that right now.
That's
and
true.
Always.
That's just kind of her. But that's also just kind of half the fucking characters in Utena.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just like that. And then Yayaka says, "I asked if you were prepared for this, remember?" And Cocona says, "I am." And then she just runs off to grab the shard. Which Yayaka is frustrated by, and the twins Naruto run after her. But Cocona grabs the shard just in time before the twins can grab it. But then the environment around them in the void turns into like hair, like weird white hair, or pasta,
or like rope. It
doesn't look ropey to me.
And it envelops them.
And it just grabs all of them, and it envelops Cocona, Boo, and the twins.
Yes.
In like a big cocoon of hair. And Paprika is concerned about Cocona, and yells at Yayaka that they have to help her. But Yayaka says the twins will be able to handle the defense trap. And then Paprika starts to argue, and then Yayaka just fucking kicks her. And tells her that it's time to hand over your Amorphous to me. And then we cut back to Cocona, who is hitting a wall with a big hammer.
Yep.
We see Boo is very injured. And we see that they're
in like a
weird room.
It's like it looks like a bedroom, kind of.
Okay. Not much furniture, though.
No.
I think there's like a table.
There's a table, I think.
And as Cocona is just slamming the wall with a hammer, the girl twin calls her a weakling. And Cocona says that she won't let them take it. I guess the Amorphous. And the boy, more to the girl than anything probably, just says, "This room can't be destroyed physically." And the girl says, "What's our way out?" And he says, "I'll find it."
Uh-huh.
Which is, I don't know, annoying for some reason.
Okay.
The boy's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's fair.
The girl's also kind of annoying.
Yeah.
The twins are kind of annoying. I like them, though.
Yeah.
And Cocona notices the windows in this room sort of light up.
Mm-hmm.
And they have started showing the outside of the cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees Paprika and Yayaka fighting. And Yayaka is still trying to tell Paprika to give her the Amorphous.
Mm-hmm.
And Paprika says, "No, without the shards, my wish won't come true." And then Paprika just fucking jets, and Yayaka chases after her.
I think she also Naruto runs.
Yeah. And Cocona wonders where they're going. And the girl twin is like, "Hey, Cocona." And sort of, I think, surprises Cocona. Mm-hmm. And she, like, gets sort of on her guard. And the girl is like, "I want to propose an armistice. Until we get out of here." And Cocona is like, well, then can you tell me your names at least? And we do. They do.
Uh-huh.
We now know their names.
The boy is Toto.
Uh-huh.
And the girl is Yu.
Uh-huh. Keeping in sort of fucking,
assonance? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, or just the repetitiveness of the names.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because with Paprika, it's mainly just consonants.
Yeah.
But Yayaka is Ya,
Coco,
Mimi.
Toto. Uh-huh.
Not so much like Salt and
no.
Hidaka.
Sayuri. No, they just have normal names. Well, okay. Not Salt.
Yeah.
Hidaka and Sayuri just have normal names.
Mr. Salt is my favorite.
Iroha Irodori, also.
Yeah, uh-huh. Mr. Salt is my favorite Fortnite player on...
what the fuck are you talking about?
Because it's like he's salty. It sounds like the name of a gamer.
Okay. I thought you were referencing like a real, like...
No.
I don't know, maybe there's a Fortnite player who goes by Dr. Pepper or something.
No. Wait. He's Mr. Salt, like Dr. Pepper. I never thought of that.
I don't think that's intentional, but it is funny.
It's probably not, but it is very funny.
Anyway. Cocona is like, okay.
Uh-huh.
And she powers down.
Uh-huh. And then there's a weird fucking exchange.
Yeah.
Where the boy...
Oh, no.
Yeah, Toto. Says she fell for it. And Yu says, "How gullible." And Cocona is like, "That was a lie?" And Yu then says, "We won't take your Amorphous here." And
there's no
Toto,
point if we can't find a way out.
Uh-huh. So, why?
They were just doing a prank. They're kids. They were just having some fun with her.
But to what end?
To have fun! Because it's funny to trick people.
It's not a trick. Because they aren't going to fight.
No, but they're not going to work with her.
That's not what an armistice means, though.
I guess.
It's weird.
I guess.
And then we get sort of a montage of Cocona and the twins just sort of exploring the room and trying to find a way out.
Mm-hmm.
Until eventually they're just sort of sitting.
Also, for the record, Toto was, like... threatening Boo with a screwdriver as they were asking Cocona if she wanted to have an armistice.
Mm-hmm. And now... Cocona asks Toto to please stop messing with Boo and taking him apart.
And we see him he's opened up his brain case and is just poking him.
In the brain.
And Boo is twitching every time he does it. And
Toto is just like, he's alright. This is fun. Which is a very good... That is very good. And Cocona asks if the twins have a wish they want to come true. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, nope. Nah, nothing. And Cocona then wonders what Yayaka wishes. And then we cut to Yayaka and Paprika, who are still running.
But they have tired out.
Yeah, they are both extremely tired. And they both just sort of collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And Paprika is very hungry. Mm-hmm. Her stomach is growling. She says she can't smell a thing, so just her senses are being fucked with by how tired and hungry she is.
Or maybe there's nothing to smell here.
Yeah, which would probably throw her off.
Yeah,
Like, it's taken away her sight, basically. Mm-hmm. That's how she experiences the world. She's like a dog. And she hears a rapper. Not like a...
Yeah, Kanye's here.
No, like a W rapper. Like a rapper. The thing you rap things. And she sees the Yayaka has like a granola bar or something.
Like a protein bar.
It looks like a tube.
It is also real crunchy, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know
granola bars are pretty crunchy.
I guess. I don't like them, so I don't know.
That's fair. And Paprika immediately tries to grab it from her. Mm-hmm. But Yayaka just sort of older brother style just holds it away from her. And says, if you want it that bad, I'll happily trade you this for the Amorphous. Mm-hmm. And Paprika is like, no, I can't do that. And then Yayaka starts eating the granola bar thing and talks about how good it is. And Paprika just collapses. And then Yayaka just pokes her with, like, to see if she's dead, I guess. And then Paprika is like, gotcha! And pounces and bites her entire hand.
And it is framed a lot like the time when she bit Cocona's arm as a rabbit.
I guess that, yeah.
With the camera, like, zooming in and out.
Meanwhile, Cocona is worried about Paprika and Yayaka. And meanwhile, while she's worrying, Yu tries to lift her skirt. Not Yu's skirt.
No, Cocona's skirt.
And Cocona's like, hey, what the fuck? And Yu says, let me know if I got this wrong, because I couldn't hear her very well.
Okay.
Aren't you curious about the others?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right? Okay. And then we cut away from that scene, so I don't know what the fuck she was...
About, Yayaka and Paprika. I guess.
It does seem like Yu was also... The shot of her hand lifting Cocona's skirt shows Cocona's inner thigh with her birthmark, which we have seen glowing before, I think. So.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Paprika and Yayaka are still arguing about... Paprika wants to go save Cocona, and Yayaka is like, no, the Amorphous is more important. And meanwhile...
Wait, again, really?
Yeah, back in the thing, Cocona is looking at them through the window.
Right.
And wonders what they're talking about. And Yu says they're talking about food. And Cocona's like, what the fuck? What? How do you know? We can't hear them. And Yu explains that she can read lips. And makes Cocona embarrassed that she can't. But Yu uses her powers. If she even has those. She could just be lying evil.
I don't know if she's lying about being able to read lips, but I think the next thing she says is definitely a lie.
Yu says that Paprika isn't worried about Cocona, just food. And also someone else. And Cocona is very sad. And just sort of clutches at her chest and says, Paprika, I don't know you. And Toto gets a weird beep signal thing on his scouter. And we come back outside. Where we see that the hair cocoon is unraveling. It is like floating up in the air now and like falling apart. And Yayaka and Paprika see this. And Paprika is like, well, shit, we gotta fucking save Cocona. And she flies out to go save Cocona. And then Yayaka grabs her. And puts her in a fucking chokehold. With a knife, I think? I think she has a knife.
She definitely has a knife. I don't know if she's using it now.
And we get this scene where Paprika... I'm just gonna read most of this verbatim.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read most of these quotes. Where Paprika says... What's wrong with you? Aren't you worried about Cocona? And Yayaka says, my first priority is the Amorphous. And Paprika says, Cocona's more important than that. To which Yayaka responds, shut up. And Paprika says, "How can you even think that? Cocona's voice, her smell, the fact that she's truly kind, I love everything about her."
Mm-hmm.
And then Yayaka gets pissed. And just kicks Paprika in the fucking stomach. Again.
Yep.
That's kind of her go-to move,
yes.
I feel like. And this scene isn't, like, supposed to be funny.
No.
And it's mostly, like, very good and well-written. But there is this bit where Yayaka says, "You low-life, filthy, greenhorn son of a..."
Yeah, that line is maybe not great.
Greenhorn.
Greenhorn son of a... You said shit in the last episode, Yayaka. You can say bitch.
And then she goes on back to being well-written. And says, "What could you possibly know about Cocona? You listen here. I've known Cocona since long before you ever showed your face." And then we cut inside the room thing, where Cocona is sort of pressing her face up against the window. Not like up against, like, it's not smushing it against.
Right.
Listen. And just says, "Paprika, Yayaka," and Toto says to Yu that this place is reacting to Cocona's emotions. And Yu says, "Is she worried about Paprika?" And Toto says, "Or is it Yayaka?" And Cocona just says, "I don't want the two of you to fight." And stares at Yayaka's face. And then we get a flashback.
Yeah.
And we see a baby Cocona.
We do see a baby Cocona in a hospital.
She's in like a waiting room. Her grandma is there and is telling her to wait there. And we hear a voice say, "This place is so boring every time I have to come here." And Cocona turns and sees baby Yayaka.
Yeah, who still has her hair like that.
She still has her hair.
She doesn't have the pink streaks.
Yeah.
She's wearing like overalls.
Yeah, it's a good look.
She's very cute.
Yes. And Yayaka is just like, "All these checkups just get on my nerves, you know? Can't they just test everything at once?" And she sort of puts an arm around Cocona, and Cocona's like, "Who are you?" And they sort of introduce each other to themselves. Nope. You know what I fucking meant.
You're not going to give it another try?
Nope.
Okay.
And they complain together about having to get checkups.
Cocona mentions all the tubes they put in you.
I do want to point out before that, most of this conversation happens while the camera is just looking at a painting of, like, red and pink begonias. But yeah, Cocona mentions the weird tubes they put in you.
And Yayaka's like, what? They really do that stuff to you?
And she hopes that she won't be next. But Cocona tries to reassure her and say that, "Well, I turned out fine, so you should too." And Yayaka says, "You're one of those good kids, aren't you?" You know, that thing you say.
What?
I guess a kid
definitely. Like, when I was a kid, I was always worried about the bad kids.
But Yayaka is one. So she's like, "Hey, you're a good kid, huh?"
Yeah.
And Yayaka is like, "The truth is you don't like it either, do you?" And Cocona is sort of hesitantly like, "No." And Yayaka is like, "Alrighty." And stands up and says, "Well, want to run away then?"
And extends her hand.
Yeah.
And Cocona takes it.
In, hand-holding symbolism. And we see them running through the halls of this hospital. And Cocona saying, "We're not allowed to run in the hall." And then we just cut to them hiding from a bunch of doctors who are looking around a garden full of pink begonias. I almost said gabonias, and that's not anything. But yeah, they're hiding behind the flowers. And Cocona asks if it's really okay that they're running away like this. And Yayaka says, "Well, you sure look like you're having fun doing it." And they both sort of laugh. And we get like a close-up on the pink begonias in case... This episode was for me, really. Because it's just like, "Hey, dumbass. Hey, fuckface. Symbolism, motherfucker." And then,
I'll explain what the symbolism is at the end.
Okay. I mean, I get that it's a symbol for their relationship.
Sure.
And then we cut to a nebulous amount of time later where they are playing some kind of game.
Yeah, uh-huh.
They say... This was hard for me to hear.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure, and the source we're using doesn't have subtitles.
No.
So.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's not... It's... Okay, real quick. It's real frustrating that it's almost impossible to find dubbed shows with subtitles.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can want to watch the dub, but be hard of hearing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not completely deaf, but still, you know.
Right. And you might
subtitles.
like this fucking dub translation more.
Yeah.
Like, there's often different translations between subtitle versions and dubbed versions.
Yes. Serena,
yeah. Well...
what do they say?
Yeah, Yayaka goes, ready, set, and then they both say something at the same time, and Yayaka says, I think, again, this is just off my hearing, I think Yayaka says, Dreambox, and Cocona says, Tersoba.
She says yakisoba, I think.
Yakisoba.
Yeah,
okay.
Which is a...
Yeah, what the fuck is that? 'Cause...
That's a food? I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay.
I think it might be a type of noodle?
Okay. But Yayaka says, that's old school.
Uh-huh.
And Cocona's like, old school? Metal Gear? And then Yayaka's like, yeah. Okay, next, say a food you really hate. Ready, set, and then there's a shadow cast over them. And the doctors are here. They have surrounded them.
Uh-huh.
The fucking sound effects on their walking is so quick, and then they just look up, and they're standing around completely still. It's like the doctors are fucking horror movie monsters. They're like fucking Watson in that one Sherlock game.
Don't blink. Blink and you're dead.
But yeah, it's MBD. Because we cut to Cocona walking down the hallway with her grandma, and her grandma asks if she made a new friend today, and Cocona says yeah, and Yayaka is watching them leave and hears that and gasps and smiles, and it's very cute. And then we fade back to the current time
where Yayaka is
beating the shit out of Cocona's new girlfriend. She is just standing solemnly while Papika is desperately trying to climb up the sort of roiling mass of hair, or whatever it is, and is yelling for Cocona, and she tries to pry it open, but she can't. And Yayaka says, well, if that's all the determination you've got, and then she leaps forward and says, you don't deserve her! And kicks Papika in the back. And it looks like it fucking hurts.
Yeah,
And it seems to nearly make her pass out.
It probably would.
And Cocona is very worried. We see her in the thing. But Papika hangs on and stays awake and just keeps yelling Cocona and trying to get in. And Yayaka can't keep her footing on, like, the roiling mass of hair. So she has to, like, jump out as it starts closing in around Papika. And starts crushing her, which is terrifying. Is one of my biggest fears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not like triggering or anything.
Okay.
But it is. It's just uncomfortable to imagine.
Right.
And Papika just keeps banging on the window and yelling for Cocona, and we see her, like, we can tell now. I really love this. You can tell purely from the animation that she is saying Cocona, which is really good.
Yeah. And also Cocona can tell.
Cocona can tell, and also Cocona finally seems to hear her.
Well, I think she can finally read Papika's lips.
Okay, yeah. And she yells, Papika! And the room shatters. The hair mass just breaks apart. And Cocona and Papika reunite in midair and hold hands together. And they are both very happy. Yayaka is not.
Nope.
She just stares at them. And then we flash back again. We see baby Yayaka again, standing in a dark room. as we hear an ominous voice saying, "You did well." And we see that she is surrounded by tall, shadowy figures. And they are saying, "You must continue to observe the target." And Yayaka nods. And they say, "Your place is with that child. Do you understand?" And Yayaka sort of gasps and says, "My place? What is that?"
And then we flash back. And Toto and Yu have arrived.
And Yu says it's time for Yayaka to take the Amorphous from Cocona.
And Toto says, "Or else you won't have a place with us anymore."
And Yayaka says, "I know that." And attacks the girls with her weird coil things.
Yep.
And grabs Paprika and just throws her aside. And Cocona is concerned and then sort of turns determinedly to face Yayaka, who just yells Cocona as a big dome of like
crystal.
Yeah, I compared it to ice in my notes. It's also very ice-like. Just engulfs both of them. And the twins approach the collapsed Paprika and say, "You're worn out. You can't win." That pause was them switching who was talking.
Yeah. Okay.
And inside the dome, Yayaka demands that Cocona transform. And Cocona says, "But..." And then a fucking scratch appears on her face as Yayaka's super fast coil gun things just scratch her face real quick. And she says, "You said you were prepared for this." And Cocona transforms. It's time for flip-flapping. And then we get a gross shot of Yayaka's butt as she runs towards Cocona. And I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Gotta have at least one.
But then she fucking kicks at Cocona, and Cocona blocks her kick with a big sword. And that's a good way of describing this entire fight, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what happens over and over again, but it's also very cool. But as she does that, images of Yayaka's younger self appear in the facets of the dome around them, which surprises Cocona. And then we see more images of Yayaka and Cocona hanging out as kids, as the two are fighting. And then outside the dome, we see that the twins have subdued Boo and Paprika and are sort of commenting on the dome fight. It's unclear if they can see into the dome or what. But just saying, she said she had more resolve than them. She did say that. That's just a fun one. You talk about redundant. See, they called it redundant earlier. And then back in the dome, Cocona says, "It's enough already, Yayaka!" But Yayaka just keeps on fighting and starts shattering facets of the dome with her kicks and her coil things until there's just sort of one image left in the dome.
Well, there are two really important images. One is of Cocona and Yayaka as their current age, roughly. And Yayaka is handing Cocona a bouquet of begonias.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one. And then we see the last image we see in these in the dome facets, which is Cocona and Paprika together, which then is shattered by Yayaka, as the entire dome is shattered. And she just delivers one final kick to Cocona, which knocks her out of magical girl mode and kicks the Amorphous out of her possession, which Yayaka then picks up.
Yep.
And then Yu, since they're outside the dome now because they shattered it, Yu says, "There's still one more to get." And Yayaka draws a knife. Yayaka's Knife is the title of this episode. And Paprika immediately struggles against the twins, but can't break out from their sort of grip. And Yayaka moves over to Cocona's knocked out form and lowers her knife to Cocona's birthmark on her thigh, and then raises her knife up to stab it down, and then flashes back to her being friends with Cocona, and can't make herself do it. Mm-hmm. And she just punches the ground and says, "Damn it, damn it, damn it!" Mm-hmm. And then Yu says, "You're the one who lacks resolve." Uh-huh. And then Todo jumps up and blasts Yayaka with missiles.
Yes. Yayaka, well, Yayaka leans over to protect Cocona from getting blasted.
She, throws the shard aside and moves herself to protect Cocona. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of explosions. Mm-hmm. And Yu catches the shard, and when the smoke clears, Yayaka collapses. Mm-hmm. And Cocona wakes up and lifts up Yayaka's limp form in horror. Mm-hmm. And then another missile flies out. Uh-huh. But this one is blocked by Paprika.
Yep.
Who has stood up now because the twins let go of her.
Right.
And Yu says that securing the Amorphous is the main priority, even though Todo is like, "Hey, they're hurt. We could,
Yeah. Todo is also bleeding from his face now.
Yes. I like to think Yu says the Amorphous is our priority, but is thinking, "Nah, dude. You can't."
Wait, also, I think this might be the first time we see real blood in Pure Illusion.
That's true. Well, not this time, but the cut on,
right, yes.
Cocona's face.
This episode is the first time we see real blood.
Yeah. And then the twins leave through a portal. Mm-hmm. And Cocona is just screaming at Yayaka to wake up. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't.
And
then
credits.
The cutesy credits music. Da, 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 da.
It takes on a sinister air, given the context. Uh-huh.
I'm with you in the dark. Uh-huh.
And then the after credits scene.
Yes, thank God we have this, honestly.
We're in Flip Flap.
Yep.
We see Dr. Hidaka running with Yayaka on his back.
Running into a room.
Presumably like a surgery ward or something. Yeah.
And Sayuri assures Cocona that they'll take it from here and they'll help her.
Cocona asks them to do everything, please. She's my friend.
And then we cut to a different scene. We see Pointy Boy.
Uh-huh. Who places the shard that Todo and Yu got into the pillar. Mm-hmm.
And it goes in.
It goes in.
That's the end of that part. But then we cut back.
And we see Paprika.
Yeah, we see Cocona and Paprika are just sort of sitting together. They seem to be in the same hallway they were in before, in that room, in front of the surgery room. Mm-hmm. So it seems like they're probably just waiting to get an update about Yayaka. Mm-hmm. But Paprika sort of jolts up like she was asleep and just woke up and says, "Mimi," and then turns to Cocona and just says Mimi again. Mm-hmm. And sort of shakes Cocona and says, "Where's Mimi? Where did Mimi go?" And Cocona tells Poppy to calm down and asks what the fuck is happening.
Who is Mimi?
Who is Mimi? And Paprika tearfully says, she was my partner. And this is our second episode in a row that just ends on Cocona saying, "What?"
Uh-huh. And that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode.
Next time.
Next time. Pure Jitters?
Pure Jitter, yeah. Uh-huh. The next time on is done by Boo, and I am not sure if this other person is the girl we saw, or if it's Yuxkiel.
Yeah, if that girl talks like that, that would be fucking bonkers.
I can't remember. Anyway, though.
So.
Okay, first off.
How long are we running here?
We're at 2:14, but we gotta talk more.
Okay.
First off, Begonias.
Begonias! Talk to me about the flowers. Love a flower.
In flower language, begonias represent a warning of danger.
Oh.
And a dark thoughts.
Okay. Is that in, fucking universal? What flower language? Because there's different flower languages.
I don't know.
Like Japanese flower language?
I'm not sure. I just know that this is true.
Okay.
Pink begonias specifically represent romantic love.
Oh. So danger plus romantic love. Okay.
Yep. If you were to go back and watch earlier episodes, many scenes Yayaka is in have pink begonias in the background.
Oh.
Also, the flower bed outside of Cocona's house
has pink begonias
in it.
Okay, cool.
Because Yayaka is always watching her.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, Yayaka dyed her hair pink.
Yes, true. First episode, though.
First episode. It's fine.
It's okay.
What you said you thought I would hate this episode.
There are so many of them. The fact that they're all in swimsuits.
Yeah, it's so bad.
The song is really good. I like mechs.
I like mechs fighting giant robots.
All of the episode... Flip Flappers really likes...
Giant monsters.
Right.
Sorry.
Flip Flappers really likes riffing on coming-of-age stories. Fairy tales, magical girls, mechs.
Yeah. The trifecta. Also, the 42 show, or what was the name of the fucking genre they riffed in the Lily episode?
Class S?
Class S.
Right.
I don't know why I thought it was a number. I guess I was thinking of the letter S and thought it was a number.
S, the 42nd letter of the alphabet.
Listen, I didn't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr.'s fun.
Mr.'s fun.
I'm now worried about Boo all the time.
Should you be?
I shouldn't be, but I can't help it.
Sure. It's the fucking gamer in you that is like, oh, we have a limited resource here that Boo is using up.
But...
I still don't know what Boo does.
Nothing. He can sometimes open portals, but... he's basically useless.
And sometimes he just says pure illusion.
Right. This doesn't really get expanded on later. There are some implications that maybe Boo was a person who used to work with Hidaka.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because he has a fucking brain.
And why else would Hidaka be so worried about, keeping him alive?
Right. He has an obsolete model of frame, but he's just a person that they need to protect. Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Seems like a shitty person.
Yeah.
Well, really... okay. Here's the... Okay, hang on. Hear me out. Mm-hmm. If he was a 14-year-old...
Why would he be working with Hidaka?
What the fuck are you talking about? Papika and Cocona work with Hidaka.
Sure. I was saying that he was a scientist. Hidaka, but he could have just been some kid.
Yeah, he could have just been a kid that they were working with.
He's still a creepo.
He's still
even if he is 14, but it is not as
it's
bad.
It's not pedophilia.
Right. Second episode, though, boy.
A lot of shit. The just sort of over-the-top sort of symbolism and shit going on, which I'm into.
Also, you mentioned episode titles don't mean anything. Pure mute. They don't talk to each other. Mm-hmm. And Cocona cannot hear them.
Yep.
But yeah, the fact that... I really like how this show handles how conflicted Yayaka is about everything she does.
Mm-hmm. And also how conflicted Cocona is.
Mm-hmm. I also... Papika loves everything about Cocona.
Yes.
Important.
Very, very excellent line. Including her voice and her smell.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, the Begonia thing makes Yayaka's relationship with Cocona more interesting than it could be, because obviously she was clearly forced into whatever she's doing.
Right, yeah, she was a fucking toddler.
Yeah, but she still, has a genuine love of and friendship with Cocona.
Yeah.
But I think...
It seems like they're I really like how it seems like their introduction to each other was, intentionally awkward on Yayaka's part, because, she is just trying to get to know this person because she has been told to. That's a really good thing. I don't fucking know. It's a good show, I guess. It's not good as Sailor Moon.
Okay.
The shots are...
Yes, they definitely are. They're bad. They really suck. Mm-hmm. It's... This show is saved by the fact that most of the writers are women.
Yes, and also that it's gay.
And also that it's gay.
And also that it's just good outside of
yeah,
basically everything, but that isn't that.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying at how distracting that relatively very minor aspect is. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that's not a big deal that, like, the show, like, kind of sexualizes 14-year-olds sometimes.
No, that's definitely a big deal.
That's a definitely big deal. What I mean when I say it's minor is it's, like, a few shots every episode.
Yeah.
It's something that... It's frustrating that it's minor in that it would be so easy to excise.
It would be so easy to remove it, and it makes the show basically really hard to recommend, even if I think it's extremely good and is saying a lot of interesting stuff.
Right.
And I definitely don't blame anyone who's like, hey, this show is gross.
Yeah.
It's important to me and I like it a lot, but I'm not going to be like, maybe it's not that bad. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
It's got some very good parts and some very bad parts, and if those bad parts are a deal breaker for you, that's entirely valid.
Yeah. This episode, in terms of, like, the pure plot stuff, this episode also establishes, hey, Asclepius has been watching Cocona for a while, huh?
Yeah, assuming that is Asclepius. I guess that's implied pretty heavily, but we don't see the pointy boys.
We don't see the pointy boys, but...
We just see some shadowy figures.
Yayaka works with Asclepius now,
right.
And it would be weird if she had gone from one shadowy organization to another.
Yeah. And yeah, they clearly... And, like, also, just... I mean, Yayaka has been working for them this whole time. Mm-hmm. That's new information. Mm-hmm. Since she was a fucking toddler.
I don't know if toddler... She's, like, 5.
Sure, yeah. And... Also, there's a third child of Amorphous.
Yeah.
If we're assuming, I think they've suggested at least that Cocona and Paprika are the children of Amorphous. You've got a blank fucking expression. They've said Paprika is one half of the component.
One half of the complete drive.
The complete drive, right? So it could be Cocona is definitely a child of Amorphous, whatever the fuck that means. Maybe the second is Yayaka, and maybe the second is Paprika.
Okay.
But there is a third.
Mm-hmm. What suggests to you that it could be Yayaka?
She's blonde, and she's
wait,
a major character.
What do you mean she's blonde?
She's blonde. She's a major character. She's...
But how does that make her a child of Amorphous?
'Cause she's important. Because she's important to the fucking plot, you know? Like, I just know narrative shit. Like, I just know narrative beats.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
That's me saying, I'm pretty sure it's Paprika. But if it's not, then the only other candidate is Yayaka, I feel like.
Okay.
Because, it's not the twins, because there's 2 of them.
Well, they said children of Amorphous.
They said child of Amorphous, but you corrected them.
Yeah.
But, they did say children of Amorphous, but also...
There could be more than 2. I mean, there's clearly more than 2 now.
Yeah, right. I don't know, I remember them saying something about... When they said child of Amorphous, it was referring to Cocona, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or it was not referring to the twins, certainly.
Okay.
I think they were talking to the twins at that moment.
They were talking to Yayaka at that time.
Were they? Okay. I feel like the twins were in the room.
The twins were in the room she was trying to get into.
Okay, I really don't remember that scene very well, huh? But yeah, and they have a cyber donut, and they got into pure illusion somehow.
Yeah.
Before the girls did. Mm-hmm. When my working theory has been they are mooching off the girls' relationship to get into pure illusion.
It's not made explicit, and I don't know if I'm right.
Okay.
But I think this pure illusion world might belong to Yayaka.
The White Void?
The White Void.
Yeah.
Because Yayaka has closed herself off.
Right.
And doesn't want, any part of herself that she's not carefully cultivated to show.
Okay.
But nevertheless, some of it comes through.
Right.
Through the facet dome.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they went there first.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we've seen, well, aside from Iroha, but, like, Yuxio went through the portal first, and that created his world.
Right. Uh-huh.
Boo went through the pool portal first, and that created the cyberpunk city.
Mister's world, yeah.
So it's possible that this world is Yayaka's own pure illusion.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck was up with that space zone they were in at first. Also, hey, where'd they put their spacesuits?
Retract. Like
sure.
like Yayaka's helmet that she's never worn again.
Sure.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Who's Mimi?
Who's Mimi? Well, she was her partner.
Right.
She was Papika's partner.
Mm-hmm.
I still have no hints as to why the fuck Papika seemed like she knew Cocona. Like, she knew about Cocona.
Right.
Beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the fuck is up with that.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say,
mm-hmm.
way to go, show, for getting me to care about a fucking love triangle.
Well, it's Harold, they're lesbians. That makes it infinitely better.
Yeah, I feel like they even if they weren't lesbians, I wouldn't have watched this far into the fucking show, I guess. But if they weren't, I feel like the plot beats in this episode, like this last episode, and both of these episodes actually, because the prior episode also has like Yayaka learning to open up to both of them. Also, by the way, mechs are polyamory culture now. So, like, I feel like they do a good job of making everybody in the love triangle like sympathetic and understandable and reasonable, right? Even if they're doing bad things, right? Like Yayaka.
And also, it's all of the relationships involved are different. Like,
yes,
I
don't think Yayaka and Papika feel the same way as each other about each other.
No.
They certainly obviously don't feel exactly the same way about Cocona.
No,
but similarly, I think they're both romantically in love with Cocona.
Right.
But
I think Yayaka clearly loves Cocona, but realizes that can't work.
Right.
But is still, repressing her anger about that fact.
Yeah.
Which, she takes out on Papika. And then Cocona.
Yeah. And then almost stabs her.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
Hey, why'd she do that? Why was she gonna do that? It's obvious, but I just want you to say it.
Why was she gonna stab her?
Yeah, why was she gonna...
because Cocona's got a fucking shard in her.
Uh-huh.
In her leg, for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen that spot glowing when she... Yeah, I think in the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then we saw Papika's ankle glowing.
Uh-huh.
That's why they're fucking... that's why I thought they were both... Like, that's why Papika and Cocona jumped out at me as children of Amorphous. They both have fucking Amorphous in them.
Right.
They have shards in them.
So, yeah, Yayaka wasn't just gonna stab Cocona, she was going to carve something out of her thigh.
Yes.
Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about, which is... So Cocona is obviously very reserved, and very, like... She cares about doing things the right way.
She's one of those good kids.
She's one of those good kids. And it's I think, telling that both of the girls she's closest to basically are like, hey, breaking the rules is fine.
Yeah, just have fun.
And earlier you said, oh, that's what impedance is, it's yelling. Impedance is propriety. Yayaka, like, syncing her impedance up with Cocona and Papika is her embarrassing herself and doing something that isn't just proper. Okay. Which Cocona has already figured out how to do, but Yayaka is still trapped.
Just share some fucking potato with friend. Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Also, fucking that shot from Cocona's perspective of just Papika's, like, damp hair and, like, her turning to look at her and Cocona just being extremely happy to look at Papika is such fucking good, like, visual romance storytelling.
Yep.
It's, like, better than 90% of, like, straight TV shows.
It's really good. There are people who don't think... There are people...
No, what? Continue?
There are people who don't think that they're gay.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
That's... Did you... Papika loves her smell. Papika loves Cocona's smell.
Papika loves everything about her.
She loves everything about her. Her voice. The way she's truly kind.
Cocona has something she needs to protect as well.
Yeah! God, how do you fucking... Also, I was going to say, that first episode, very good at, like, exploring Cocona's mental space when it comes to Papika, and being, like, fully coming into acceptance that she legitimately cares about Papika and, like, wants to keep her safe.
Yes. Yeah.
And also that she still cares about Yayaka. And Yayaka still cares about her, which is more emphasized by the later episode, but is still there in the first episode. And then also the fucking... them building that up, and then Papika calling her by a different name, and Cocona being very confused and upset.
Yep.
Was a fucking gut punch in a really well-made way.
Yes. So...
yeah, curious about Mimi, Papika's ex.
Thank you for listening. As always, you can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school.
And oh yeah, we have a theme song.
We mentioned it last time.
I forgot.
What? And thank you to Soichi Sakagami for use of the songs Yutori Adventure and Seikei no Yakusoku.
Together,
we
flip
flat.
is weird.
Your head is always weird.
Wow.
It's just got a shape to it.
That wasn't even... Okay. That wasn't what I meant.
What do you mean?
But alright, it feels weird. Like it's itchy and stuff.
Got lice.
I don't.
As always.
Don't.